Hi, my name is Russ Sanhoff. I'm the Curator of Education here at the Hastings Museum. And for today's Museum Minute, we are going to be talking about the Alexander House. I am standing in front of Samuel and Harriet Alexander's house. Samuel is considered the founding father of Hastings, while Harriet is considered the first lady, both literally and figuratively, of the town. Samuel and Harriet moved to town along with their infant daughter in 1872, 2 years before Hastings was incorporated. They originally intended to just move here for a year to fulfill their requirement of proving up, but they realized once they settled that they picked a primo spot and they settled in for the long haul. Basically, the Alexanders lived in a big giant square that was Minnesota to Burlington and 7th to 12th. After the Alexanders moved to town, Samuel opened the first business in Hastings, which was a general store. He was also helpful in starting the first post office and helped found Hastings College. He even served as mayor for a few years. He was really instrumental in helping Hastings flourish. Harriet was also instrumental in helping Hastings prosper. She was witness to or associated with so many firsts in Nebraska. When they first moved to town, the Pawnees still lived in this area. And the Hastings Tribune often quoted Harriet in articles about the good old days. And in one article, they quoted her saying,
"One of the first things we did after our shack was built was to have our neighbor plow 4 rows around the place as a fire guard. The Indians used to set fire to the prairie grass in the fall in order to drive the wild animals to the river where they could be killed for the winter supply of meat."
In a different newspaper quote, Harriet remembers seeing the Pawnee being moved to Oklahoma in 1875. And she said,
"There were really no Indians, though that summer I watched them move the remnants of an Indian tribe south. They went through about a mile east of where the college is now located."
As you probably know, there weren't a lot of trees in Nebraska during pioneer settlement, and Hastings was no exception. Harriet didn't see her first tree until 3 years after she moved to town, and it was a tree she had planted. She recalls,
"My father sent me a barrel of box elder seeds, from which we planted a 5-acre grove. Hundreds of trees were later transplanted by settlers who were taking tree claims in this part of the state. With one baby tied to the leg of the kitchen table and the other tied to her high chair, I followed the plow and planted that whole barrel of seeds."
Like I said earlier, I'm standing in front of the Alexander home. The museum acquired actual parts of the home 70 years after the Alexanders bought it. And so some of the parts that you see here are from their home, such as the windows, and then some of the slat board, and of course more windows, and then the front door. And there's also some items inside that are from their home. So you get a little sneak peek and actually get to go inside the home with me today and look at some of those things. So come on inside. So the creepy girl here, she is not from the original home. We just added that for a little spice for our visitors. You see the staircase here, that is from their original home, and even down to the nails, it is installed the way it was in their actual home. And then if you want to come with me this way, I feel like I'm on a home makeover show doing this. It's kind of fun. Okay, so there's actually several items in here that are from their original home. So for instance, these marble top tables are from their home. And then you also, and we'll just have you kind of swoop around here. This Bible right here was given to Samuel in his Sunday school class in 1880. So that one is well over 100 years old. And then we also have a couple of needlepoint chairs, which you can see right here. And then there's another needlepoint chair, that little one right there. It looks like it's maybe for a child. And then the magnifying glass that you see here on top of the music, that is also from their home. A little bit different from magnifying glasses that we see today. There is also a potpourri jar over here on the shelf. This one right here is original from their home. And then there is this pink and white vase that was a 75th anniversary present in 1895 to the Alexanders. And then of course, their beautiful, very ornate marriage certificate. If mine was that beautiful, I probably would have framed it as well. And then lastly, we do have a couple of photos of the Alexanders taken in the 1920s. You can see Harriet and then Samuel hanging on the wall there. So I do want to thank you for joining us for this museum minute plus. This one was a little bit longer. And we do have a lot of other educational content and digital resources on our website at hastingsmuseum.org. So go there for more fun stuff.